What makes you nervous no matter how many times you do it? Drive in front of a police officer when I have no reason to be nervous. Sit next to one at traffic lights. Do I look at them? If I don't, does it look suspicious? Do I pretend like I'm bored? What do I do? Approaching a green light that has been green too long, but you are getting to the distance where you don't know whether or not you should stop or if you can stop. We have a certain light here that just feels off. It's green for like a year, then yellow for a split second before it turns red. Always makes me nervous when driving past it. If the intersection has crosswalk signals, watch for those to change as well. That has helped me with my anxiety about it. Tuning my violin. Ugh, when the T string snaps and whips you in the face. I was in advanced orchestra in high school and had to have my stand partner tune my viola every time because it made me nervous. Using my table saw. Even though I am a carpenter. Smart man, stay cautious. Handling an angle grinder makes me nervous. I have to use it frequently because of my job, but it never gets easier. Using a mandoline slicer. Even using the safety guard I get a little queasy when I have to use it. I sliced my thumb open once because I thought I was too good for the guard. I never ever use it without the guard now and still get too nervous to cut that far down with it. Flirt, ask someone out. I'm a very outgoing person. I'm not afraid of phone calls, talking to strangers, or meeting new people. In fact, I thrive on it. Unless I'm interested in a person. Then I feel like I'd rather die than see their face. It's awful. I am a straight man, I only feel comfortable flirting with other straight men. Calling off work. The worst. It makes me so nervous I almost always just suck it up and go into work lol. That's definitely a big one for me. I had a job for around 10 years and called out about once every 2 years, and my boss would still bitch and try to guilt me into coming in every time. I finally walked out during my shift last year. For months after he was texting me, begging me to come back. I savored every desperate plea. When my boss goes, can we just have a quick chat? My boss did that to me when I took a day off last year. Was very nervous as I knew it was important if he was asking me to chat on my personal day, and sat there nervous about it for 3 hours leading up to our meeting. Turns out I was getting a promotion to manager with a nice pay raise. That day was a whirlwind of anxiety and emotions. These days I always straight up ask if I'm in trouble or getting fired. Finding a tick on my body. Found a tick inside my leggings while hiking Saturday, just ruined the rest of my hike. There is something so particularly creepy about their flat body bleach. Yes. I always think of what disease I will get. Driving past / behind / in front of a cop. I've got a clean record and I don't do anything illegal, but I feel like they will pull me over anyway, and I start to panic if they continue to follow me, even when on main roads. I look back every 5 seconds to see if they turn their lights and siren on to pull me over. Paranoia? I just got pulled over for the first time last night. I looked for anything and everything I could have done wrong, and the only thing I could think was I'm switching insurance companies, but when he wakes up he simply said, "Don't grab your wallet, I just wanted you to know, your headlights are off." I was so relieved, but it scared the fuck out of me. Anytime I hand edit a database. 1,428,992 rows affected, 0.33 seconds, oh no. I feel this in my soul. Surprise guests. Edit, I don't fuck my guests, I just meant having them happen. Those are burglars. Anything that has to do with my car. I have been scammed even over a simple oil change. Even if I try to be confident, it's very clear once I start talking that I have no clue about cars. Literally had someone quote $400 to change an air filter. I said no because I could not afford it. Found out later how insane that quote was. Sadly, that just fueled my fear. I love it when they pull out my air filter to show me how dirty it is so they can charge me $100 to change it, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I'll have to change that. Now go put it back. My dad told me to always get multiple opinions and quotes from different businesses, so I do that and it helps. Except for oil changes because I get that enough that I know who's the cheapest. Job interviews. They suck most when you need the damn job. And in many cases, you can expect a high rejection rate. I have had way more than I ever wanted to. End communication. I'm the worst at job interviews, and knowing that makes it worse every time. I always dread job interviews, lol. Driving in between two semi-trucks on the freeway. Bonus points if one or both is carrying a bunch of logs. Driving behind a truck with an overhanging load too. I'm always terrified my depth perception will fail me and I'll ram it with my windshield. My cousin died in an accident like that. She was in a goddamn bus at one of the front seats and the bus rear-ended a semi-truck carrying timber. It's a valid fear if you ask me. Walking over a storm drain with my keys in my hand. That's how I lost my iPod. I had it in my hoodie pocket and for some reason decided to hop over the drain. As soon as I jumped, I saw my iPod fly out and fall in. I lost a lot of my LimeWire downloads that day. Or phone. You ever do the Titan grip thing before you walk over it? Putting my luggage in the overhead storage on a plane. Major anxiety, like what if I'm the last person on the plane and have to run around and look for a place to put my luggage. Especially on those little regional planes where the overhead compartment is the diameter of a football. Climbing a ladder. Climbing up, I'm good. Climbing down? My leg muscles will have none of that. I get all wobbly and it takes me forever to awkwardly get my ordinarily functional body down even just a couple rungs. Let's break ourselves into small groups and also, before we start, let's go around the room and say a little bit about ourselves. I have created breakout rooms on the call, and I'll start assigning people to them. Walking out of a store without buying anything. Edit, thank goodness I'm not the only one, sounds like there are literally dozens of us. I'm always paranoid that I'll trigger the security alarm for no reason. Walking into the same store you bought the clothes you're currently wearing from. At meetings when they say, okay, everyone, let's go around the room and introduce yourself. Even worse when they require stupid things like, include your favorite food and why you like it or tell us why you're here. Because it's mandatory? The problem I have with this is I suddenly forget everything about myself. Favorite food? Oh god, what have I eaten ever? Favorite movie? I watch movies. Hobbies? Is sleep a hobby? Did I even sleep last night? Typically how it goes in my head. Tell us why you're here. Because it's mandatory? I'm here because I strongly believe in the company, or companies, I owe bills to. And to promptly and diligently collect my paycheck. Going into small businesses that I haven't been in before. When you walk out without buying anything, oof. Anytime I go into a bike shop I get really insecure. The last bike shop I went to I was stopped at the door by the owner. He said, these bikes cost between $6,000, $9,000. Then he gently placed his hand on my back and moved me back onto the sidewalk. It was probably harmless but I felt incredibly stupid. Edit, thanks everyone. I definitely feel way better. The best part is I work in sports branding and my wife is a doctor. So suck it, Lou. Public speaking. I can't believe I had to scroll this far to find this. I can't remember a single word I've spoken in public, despite making several well-received public speeches. I don't think I will ever overcome this fear. There's an open ocean swim I do with a friend. I love swimming, in pools and lakes. But ocean is different. This is in Canada, in a wetsuit. It's 1.8 kilometers, and no bottom in sight, just black. I know seals follow us because friends have told me. The first time we went he commented that I was fast. I'm not fast, it's pure adrenaline. I am motivated by pure fear. I won't do it by myself, and have only done it about 10 times. I am terrified every time. Lots of self-talk and I always feel great afterwards. Fuck that, if I can't see or touch the bottom I am fucking out. I have a fear of dark water. So bad that I can't go onto a pier, pontoon or a harbor at night. Empty swimming pools creep me out too. Yet I loved it when I dived on swam in the Med, 2 miles off the coast of Tunisia. That shit was amazing. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.